Hello everybody, today I've been getting a lot of questions recently about what's the best characters to build with a Xiao team. Who's going to be really good for supporting him, what characters should you have built up, and all types of questions about that. So I want to go ahead and answer that and go over almost every character I think that can even be built for him. There's going to be different tiers, top tier, mid tier, and bottom tier. Um, at top tier, I think just altogether, the character Xiao goes extremely well with the character. They have multiple ways to support him. In the mid tier, there's gonna be there's gonna be one thing that he really needs from them, or they're gonna have again like one or two ways to support him. And the bottom tier, we're just gonna have characters who do have at least a single way to support him in one of his functions. All right, cool. So getting into it, as you can see, top tier. We're starting straight with the top tier. We're looking at Venti. Venti to me is extremely top tier with him because he fulfills two roles. One, he's gonna give a lot of very strong CC for your team, and based on Xiao's current kit, we do know that Xiao can jump dash or jump skill, and if he jumps and does his skill, he should be able to hit almost every character sucked into Venti's tornado. Additionally, the AoE on his uh, plunge attacks should be strong enough to hit a lot of the characters in the tornado as well. So you're gonna be able to get a lot of CC, and then he's gonna work as a battery since he's gonna provide so much Nemo energy. While Zhao's out on the field, he'll constantly be increasing the amount of energy he's getting and allowing him to use his burst more often. A lot of people already think Venti is like 6-star, the alone 6-star in the game, and that because of everything he provides to a team is why he again is a top tier for Xiao support. Next we have Albedo. Albedo is going to actually be very similar to Venti as he's going to provide a lot of elemental energy, not nearly as much because obviously he is Geo, so he's not going to be providing the same amount of energy to a Nemo character as the Nemo characters do provide more energy to Nemo characters. The same with all elements. If you're generating fire energy and have fire people in your team, they'll get more energy than anybody else, even if they're not currently the active character. So yeah, Albedo will be generating a lot of energy, not nearly as well as Venti, but he'll also be providing a lot of additional damage using his skill. It has extremely long duration, so you could put this out, go into Zhao's burst, and it'll be up for the entire duration and then some, which makes it extremely useful when playing Xiao, since you can fight in the terrain that Albedo is going to set up. That way you're dealing higher DPS and more damage overall, as well as again, he does work as a good energy battery. He'll generate a lot of energy for the entire team. Next, Chichi. Chichi, to me, is going to be his best healer because of just the crazy amount of heals she does provide, and the fact that she has an aura healing. She's just able to put the healing out and have it keep healing for the entire duration. One very good thing about that is its duration is 15 seconds, which is the same time as Zhao's burst as well. So you will be receiving some healing for most of that time. Obviously, you'll lose a second or two as you're changing from Chichi to Xiao and going into his burst, but you will still have it up for most of that burst time and be able to keep yourself relatively healthy, which is pretty good. But that's the biggest reason why she's so good. Additionally, because it's an aura, it does hit enemies around you with cryo every now and then, which could be good if you want to generate some swirls. Which does scale well with Albedo, because Albedo is able to increase your entire team's elemental mastery by using his burst, which if your elemental mastery is increased, those swirl damages will be doing a little bit better than just a base swirl, because if you're not building forth elemental mastery with Xiao, your swirl is not going to be your main DPS, but they'll be doing at least a little bit more damage if you have Albedo. Back to Chichi though, that's pretty much everything for her. She's just able to provide a good amount of healing for Xiao to make sure he's healthy during his burst. Next we have Bennett. I originally wasn't going to include Bennett in the top tier, but I mean everything that Bennett provides is almost uncomparable, so it's really hard to not include him in a top tier. support for any character. So what he provides mainly is going to be coming through his Fantastic Voyage. He's going to be providing an attack increase and and healing for at least 12 seconds. Again, it's going to be more like 10 seconds once you switch to Xiao and actually go into his burst, if this is the last thing you do before doing that. But the healing it's going to provide is going to keep you at least at 70% health. It may actually keep you at 80 to 90% health because the way Xiao's damage is going to tick down. If he ticks to like 69% and then Bennett heals him, it'll actually overheal him by a good amount. Furthermore, the just insane attack buff it's going to be giving Xiao or any character in it is uncomparable to almost any other skill and makes it such a good skill to have, especially if you have any of his constellations. More importantly, his C1, because you're going to be getting that additional attack even if you're getting healed, which makes it such a good skill. Yeah, that's why Bennett's here. He fills the role of healer if you don't want to bring Chichi, because Chichi does have scaling issues. Bennett can fill the role of healer for at least a good, again, it will be about 10 seconds of your burst, but he will be keeping him topped off and he'll be giving him that attack buff. The only downside is, unlike Chichi, it's not an aura. Instead, this is going to be something planted on the ground where you'll have to keep most of the fighting condensed to, which could be a problem in some situations, but it shouldn't be a problem in most situations, so it is still really good. And finally, the last character I have in his absolute top tier is Jingchu. Jingchu is going to be, in my opinion, his best sub DPS, especially because of his ultimate. A Rain Cutter is so strong, and while his Rain Cutter is active, he'll have his swords around him, which means he's going to have a damage reduction. He's going to he'll be healed a little bit because of his ascension stats. My bad, I just my brain froze for a second. But yeah, because of his ascension stats, because of his burst, all around I think this is going to be extremely good character for Xiao. Again, it has a 15-second duration. That means it will be up for at least 13 seconds if you switch to Xiao and immediately burst. However, if you want to switch to Bennett next and burst, this should still be up for over 10 seconds of Xiao's ultimate. It is only your normal attacks that will be triggering this, so this will not be triggering during his plunges. However, you should be mixing up both plunges and normal attacks with Xiao anyway, from what his kit currently looks like. However, yes, during complete plunge spam, this may not be the best support for him, but I don't think complete plunge spam will be his best playstyle, making, again, Jingchu such a good support for him. Alright, next, this is his mid-tier. His first person mid-tier will be Barbara. Barbara's in mid-tier because, again, she has an aura healing that will provide constant HP for Xiao, again, for most of his burst duration, keeping him topped off, making sure you're not getting too low because of the health drain of his burst. But yeah, that's the main thing I have to say for it. I just think, what are they called? Aura healings are going to be so strong just to keep him topped off, make sure you're not dying. That's why Barbara is in his mid-tier. Next, we have Vado. Vado offers both damage reduction and additional damage in general using her Stormbreaker. When she pops her Stormbreaker, it's going to increase the character's resistance and damage reduction by 20 or higher % based on how high you have Stormbreaker upgraded. But additionally, it's going to be dealing electro damage to a bunch of enemies around you. And once that electro damage is procced, you'll be able to proc a lot of swirls using Xiao's burst, using plunges, because it is going to be jumping between targets. It's going to be able to get electro on a lot of enemies. So while you're normal and charge attacking, you're going to build that electro on a bunch of enemies. But then when you go into your plunge, you're going to be proccing that electro, causing swirls, and you're also going to be causing swirls just by normal attacking, because all of his damage is converted to Anemo during his burst, meaning that Vado's going to be providing a lot of additional damage from not only her abilities, but from the swirl as well. And then again, that damage reduction mixed in with all of it makes her a very good support, as well as, again, she has that 15-second duration, meaning that this will be up for most of Xiao's burst uptime. And I think that's about it. I actually don't think a Thundercaller, yeah. Nothing else too much. If you do have some constellations on her, obviously, it'll be nice to have her electro resistance. You'll be creating a shield. Again, that'll be even more defense for him, for whoever you're on. If you have a constellation that does just increase her potency as a support even more because of how many upgrades it gives to Stormbreaker specifically. Next, we have Fischl. Fischl actually doesn't do multiple things. However, she does one thing extremely well, and that is being a DPS support. You're going to drop Oz, switch into Xiao, go into the burst, and Oz is just going to be blasting in the back for you, allowing you to get even more DPS on a lot of enemies. Or if you're fighting one enemy, get even more DPS on that single enemy. And it's going to give you access to many more swirl procs because of this. Again, yeah, in general, Fischl is just a really good DPS support, especially if you have her D6. It's going to make her an even better DPS support because Oz will attack whatever your main character is attacking or your active character is attacking, and he's out for even longer. So if you have her at C6, it makes her even better, but yeah, she's just really shined at being one of the best DPS supports. Next, we have Sucrose. Sucrose is mid-tier, especially because she plays the part of the battery very well, similar to Venti. That's her main thing. She'll be able to pool a lot of enemies into one area, letting you to go all out as Xiao. She will increase your elemental mastery, but since she's the battery, you'll need a good sub DPS to allowing you to take advantage of that swirl. None of her constellations are extremely helpful for being a support to Xiao. However, for being a support in general, for being a character in general, having the C1 is normally a must for most people. Yeah, she just plays a very good battery, giving you a lot more Nemo energy, allowing you to build up Xiao's burst even faster. Next, we have Mona. I actually don't have a Mona. However, most people say she's extremely good. She will increase your damage output a little bit while her ult is out. That's, I believe, just for one big attack though. Again, I don't have a Mona. I won't talk too much about her just because I don't know well enough. She is able to put out her little taunt, which that's one good thing, that no matter what, you'll be able to group up enemies by putting out this taunt, allowing you to just go at them once you switch over to Xiao. But other than that, yeah, I don't believe she is anything too special other than just she's a really good support all around. Alright, next, this is gonna be Jean is, for me, on the cusp of bottom tier and mid tier. And that's mainly because Jean doesn't have nearly as good of a Nemo energy output as the other two batteries, and also she's not the best healer compared to other healers, but she's just okay at everything, making her, to me, probably more toward the mid tier. Yeah, that's the main thing. She can be a healer. She does do a Nemo damage, which will give you a Nemo energy, but it's just not the best compared to Sucrose being a better battery, Barbara being a better aura healer, and then Venti and Chichi just being better than the last two people I just mentioned, again, being better than Jean herself. The only thing to me that really pushes Jean to absolute, like, probably toward the top tier, but just in general on top of mid tier, would be if you have her C4 specifically. That reduces Anemo resistance by 40%, which that, if you're able to do that, that's extremely powerful, which would make her really good for Xiao support. But again, that's 4 constellations of a 5-star. Most players do not have that, so most players do not have to worry about that. So yeah, Jean is lower mid tier in my opinion as a Xiao support specifically. Alright, next we have Traveler. This is will be a Nemo Traveler, and the main reason I have Nemo Traveler here at the top of bottom tier, actually. This is the start of bottom tier. Top of bottom tier, I'll have a Nemo Traveler, because if you have Constellation 6, you get 20% in Nemo resistance, which that's a really large increase to DPS for Xiao, because all of his damage is in Nemo. Other than that, though, none of these. Yeah, sure, this can work as a battery character because of their ultimate, because of their Palm Vortex. You can be dealing a lot of damage. Not a lot of damage. You can be dealing a Nemo damage and generating a Nemo energy, but like none of it's gonna be nearly as good as any of the other batteries. So the only thing that really makes this character good for Xiao support is that a Nemo resistance down. Alright, cool. Continuing on, Kea. Kea is only here because of his burst. His burst lasts for 15 seconds. Or for 8 seconds, my bad. It's cooldown 15 seconds. It lasts for 8 seconds. It's just able to be... It's gonna be an aura around Xiao, letting him deal additional damage just for existing. That's it. Bottom tier, like I said, just has one thing helping, and that's all that he has helping. Xiao is having additional damage surrounding him. Next we have Lisa. Lisa is in the same boat. All you're gonna have is the additional damage of Lightning Rose when she bursts. But you will have opponents hit by Lightning Rose have their defense decreased, so that does allow her to provide some additional support. But yeah, not too much coming out of Lisa here. Next, Jingling. Jingling has two abilities that you can drop on the field while Xiao's doing his thing. Biggest problem with these are they're just... I mean, there's no real problem with it. It's just additional DPS. There's nothing else it really provides. The only good thing that Goba's going to provide is after Goba disappears, he will drop his pepper, giving you additional attack, which can increase his DPS, Xiao's DPS even further. But I just think it's outscaled by other sub DPSs that you can choose from. And next, we have Dionna. Dionna is okay healer. That's it. Yeah, she's an okay healer. She'll be dealing additional cryo damage. It does last for 12 seconds, so it will last for a good amount of time during Xiao's burst, keeping him healed, while at the same time proccing cryo on enemies, allowing you to get cryo swirls. But that's about all Dionna provides. Then finally we have Chungyang at the bottom of the bottom tier, in my opinion. Because he doesn't provide much. The only reason why he's even here is because he does provide attack speed bonus, and if you do have him at least at Constellation 2, which is feasible, especially if you pulled on Zhongli's banner, or just got lucky and got a couple Chungyang's. He does increase the cooldown of any skill or burst casted within his field, which could be nice. It could reduce the cooldown of everything Xiao does, allowing you to not only keep up your stacks for his passive, his Ascension passive, related to his skill, but also allowing you to go into your burst quicker than he normally would. But other than that, it's again not the best support all around because he doesn't provide much, especially because you're not going to be dealing cryo damage. Even if you use this ability, Xiao's burst ability does say that it cannot be overwritten by anything else, meaning that you're just going to be getting the attack speed bonus and maybe the cooldown reduction if you have Constellation 2. Alright, and then the last tier is actually not bad. It is just absolutely needs testing. It's hard to say how good these characters are going to be with him without testing further. First in this tier is Zhongli. Why Zhongli's in this tier is because I think his shield can be absolutely great on Xiao, especially with all the new bonuses coming. His new shield will be reducing elemental resistances for any enemy near them, which means Anemo resistance will be decreased, meaning Xiao will be doing a good amount of additional damage. However, the problem with this is if Xiao's HP depletion attacks the shield first, you will only have a couple seconds with this shield up because it's going to eat into it so quickly. However, if it doesn't attack the shield first, you should be able to have it up for almost the entire duration of Xiao's burst, giving you a lot more increased damage. Actually, now thinking about it, If it doesn't attack the shield first anyway, or if it does attack the shield first anyway, the amount of shield that Zhongli is going to be able to provide will give it a good amount of ticks, will allow the shield to stay up for a good amount of time. So I think Zhongli should be a good character all around, and it'd at least be mid tier even if it eats the shield. But if it doesn't eat the shield and eats his HP only, I would put him in high tier as a support. But again, that needs testing. We won't know until we're able to confirm by actually testing out ourselves. Next, Ganyu. Ganyu just isn't out, so it's hard to say how good of a sub DPS she'll be. It does look like she'll be similar to Fischl, where all she's really providing is a good sub DPS, not anything else. Yeah, she does look strong. She does have a taunt, but again, needs testing. And then finally, Xinyan. Xinyan is similar to Zhongli, where the best thing Xinyan's going to provide is a shield that if you can get level 3, it's going to deal additional pyro damage, giving you additional swirls. But if it does, but if the shield is being eaten by his health depletion from his burst, then again the shield won't be nearly as good, and you won't be able to get this ability going for nearly as long. Totally depends. Alright, yeah, that's everything I have to say. Again, the absolute best characters I would say are going to be Venti, Albedo, Chichi, and Bennett. If Zhongli, and Jingchu. And then if Zhongli, if he eats Zhongli's shield because of his health depletion, I'll keep him at like high mid tier. However, if he just eats his own health, I actually would put him in just high tier completely. If you have any questions, just let me know down below. I'll answer anything I can, and have a good day. I'm out.